I don't like them. The thing that I don't like about boilers is, one, you can't just like, it takes longer than using a furnace to get the house to the appropriate temperature. It just typically takes longer for a house to heat up with boilers than it does with like forced air. And then the other downside that I'm aware of is you can't convert a boiler into a central air system. So obviously a lot of homeowners nowadays really like central air. The reason because, again, you're coming inside the house on a hot summer day. You don't want it to take 4 hours to cool your house down, right? You want it to get cooled off quickly. So if you have central air, you can do that relatively quickly, right? The problem is if you have a boiler, you can't add central air to a boiler, but you can add central air to a furnace. I know there's restrictions on the type of furnace, and some of the older ones are not compatible, and you might have to install a new furnace. But point being, if you have a furnace, you can still get central air installed. If you have a boiler system, you can't. That's a whole separate thing. You'd have to either do mini splits, or you could do, window units or something like that. So a lot of modern houses use furnaces because of that very fact that they can do central air. So for me personally, I prefer, houses that have furnaces. There are some areas like this house here in Cleveland Heights, and then some Shaker Heights, a lot of Shaker Heights, they will have boilers just because, 100 years ago when these houses were built, that's just the style that they used. That's the heating system that they used. And those two cities in particular, they like to keep some of the historic value of their houses. And so they might not update those heating systems. And that's just kind of goes along with part of the charm of being in those cities, is you're going to get more houses with boilers instead of, your furnaces that we see in other places.